Alright everybody, we're going to get a second feeding video today. I'm going to try to stay out of the camera a little bit, but I got to be right off here to the right where my snail tank is. And we are going to feed my figure 8 puffer here in my brackish tank. If you look off to the right hand corner of the tank, that's where I put the snails in for him, and once he sees that I've got them in here, he's actually looking over here at me off to the side of the tank. Once he knows they're in here, he will go and do his thing with the snails. He's really fun to watch. He checks it out, he swims all around, he makes sure it's safe to eat, and then he snatches it up. And sometimes he sucks the meat right out of it. Other times he will actually chew the shell up and just crush it up like it's made out of crackers. Now it's important to make sure when you have a puffer that you feed it hard-shelled animals like snails, or in this case with the figure 8s, their tooth plates are fairly soft, so you can actually get away with feeding them krill or freeze-dried krill. That will actually provide enough. See, the other fish always check the snails out to see what's going on, but then they leave them alone because they don't eat the snails. But I usually throw 2 or 3 in at a time, and then that gives him something to do. He'll look for them. But the krill is enough to keep the tooth plates under control. If you don't feed puffers regularly with food that wears those teeth plates down, then they will actually overgrow and prevent the animal from eating, and then they can actually starve to death as a result. So you always got to make sure you give them proper food. And I actually have a tank that I grow snails in just for that. I also have another little container in the other room that I keep snails in. And he's a really messy eater, but that's okay because I have 5 Bumblebee Gobies in there. And when all the little bits of snail meat goes flying around the tank, the Bumblebee Gobies usually find a little bit of that. And of course the live bears, the molly, the swordtail, and the Madagascan Rainbow Fish all enjoy the little bit of meat that floats around in the tank after the puffer gets done with it as well. So that's enough snails being put in the tank. I'm going to step back here behind the camera, and that will allow me to try to zoom in a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. I got the camera on a tripod, so I'm trying to move it and angle it while it's actually mounted to the tripod, so this is a little more difficult than one might think. So let me just pick the whole tripod up. Really neat little fish. I love the way they just cruise around like a little helicopter. Their eyes are independently sprung. There goes one of my little Bumblebee Gobies. So they can look in different directions at the same time the way a chameleon does. Really curious little fish. And really intelligent little fish as well. If you are going to keep puffers, one thing you should keep in mind is that because they're such intelligent fish, you need to keep them intellectually stimulated. You need to keep them in a tank that's got plenty of decor, lots of little things for them to look at and investigate. You will often find them in the tank up against the glass looking at you, watching what you're doing in the room. But you got to keep them occupied. You got to keep their minds busy, or they will get bored and they will start pacing the glass and swimming up and down and pining away, and unfortunately you won't have a very happy and healthy puffer. So you really do have to provide proper tank decor for them. Now I'm gonna try to get over there without disturbing him. Let me zoom back out here a second. I did not realize that the snails had been falling down there behind the rocks. Now I'm not really sure how rapidly these grow or mature. I've had him for about a year now, and as far as I can make out, he's still showing his juvenile colors. or markings I should say. I think as they mature, those lines get a lot more elaborate, and that very distinctive 8 marking on its back that gives it its name goes away and becomes more broken and sort of squiggly lines all over it. So if anybody wants to keep one of these, please do. They're fantastic fish. I really, really love my puffer. You do really need to keep these in brackish water. I have an entire brackish playlist on my channel, so you should check that out. Running a brackish system is not that complicated or difficult, so if you're interested in keeping one, check out that playlist. There's lots of good information there, and I'm always doing update videos, and I will be doing more on my brackish tank here soon, where we actually discuss water chemistry and tank maintenance and that sort of thing. So go ahead and subscribe. Please like, please sub. Feel free to comment. I always welcome your comments. I love talking to all my viewers. I always like making new friends. So I'm going to say thank you for watching this one. See, that's what I mean about being a messy eater. See how that stuff goes everywhere? But again, the gobies will clean that up, and everybody gets a little bit of it. And the main thing I have to worry about is from time to time I need to go in there and clean up the snail shell graveyard. As you can see, the empty snail shells accumulate. So that was just a look at my puffer in my brackish tank again. So once again, I will thank you for watching, and I ask you to please subscribe, please like, please share. I'll see you real soon. Thanks again.